Okay, welcome back guys. Episode 19 on my Minecraft world. And I've just been preparing some materials for the week of builds, which hopefully will be next week. So if all goes to plan, today we're building this build here, and then next week, if today is Saturday, hopefully, then starting Monday, we'll be building here. That's what I've just prepared. And that one. Boom. So, yeah, and then all this stuff. Yeah, this side of the road, basically. And I need to do the middle bit as well. But yeah, so, off camera, I added more lampposts. So, yeah, I've gone back on the ones I already built and swapped out this one fence post, like I mentioned. Still haven't brought my horse around, but the town's ready for when I do that. So I guess let's get on with it, right? Let's do this new build. I think this is a pretty one, and I'm quite proud of this one as well. I'm going to just crack on, get on with this build, and yeah, I'll see you on the other side. Okay guys, welcome back. You may have noticed that I didn't show most of the build in that time lapse. I am so gutted. I really like this build, and the replay mod file kind of got corrupted, and like the last hour and a half of the build I just don't have the recording of now, so I showed what I had. And yeah, here it is, finished. But yeah, I wanted to kind of walk down the road so we get this view. I've been talking about views and the feeling of walking around the town in the past few videos, and finally got this like stretch of road finished. So we've got the like encroaching of the buildings on the sides, and then as you walk down, we've finally got this like the last piece stuck in the end here. Oh, yeah. So, yeah, don't think I've actually mentioned what this building's meant to be. So, it's gonna be my bee farm, and also, I don't really need that much honey. I've got so much honey, and I think I might still have a ton like left in the starter village, because that was like the first farm I built was for honey. So yeah, it's not going to be super productive. I think I've got like 3 hives in here. Here's like the back of the redstone for the bee farm. Yeah, this is meant to be based on a few different like botanical gardens and like Victorian era greenhouses. So that's what like the glass dome on the top is for. And then I've got this kind of like ornate stonework sort of vibe going on with like the sandstone building. But yeah, it's meant to be like a botanical gardens type thing. So I've tried to put a bunch of flowers and stuff around. Not so much outside, because I feel like the point of it, right, is that it's like being like tended to inside the building. So before I go in, let's just have a quick look around the outside. Ignore the floating terrain for now, but yeah, I need to build what goes here, so I know how to sort of like mesh the two bits of terrain together. But I guess I'll go underneath things. We can see that. This is the bottom of the honey farm, and then yeah, so there's two outputs here. I guess there's three outputs here, and then this is the other half of the building, which I'll use as a sniffer. I guess not a sniffer farm, but the ancient seeds farm. So that's why I've got my remaining sniffer eggs, and I'll shove those in there to hatch. Yeah, and then this area, it's just, I mean, I could probably find a use for this, like just covered up ground. Ideally, I want to not have this be one layer thick, because if a creeper explodes, it's like disaster. But yeah, this is just the underneath of like all the farms and all the redstone buildings and stuff. What's that? There's a parrot stuck into it. Okay, poor guy. Should probably rescue him. It doesn't seem to be moving. Is this a tamed parrot? What if he can actually move from there? Because like, he's like stuck in this like one block height, whatever. I'll try and rescue him later. So, where's that door? I'm turned around now. Yeah, I also got the wall like brought round. That's finished now on this side, and it kind of like melts into the terrain. This door, it's just another like quick way to get down here, so I don't have to like go in the building, find the trap door, and come down. And yeah, this just comes out onto the beach. I did a little bit of like, I did this little mini sort of cliff to hide the like the floatingness of this area, and then it's just like a bit more like little outcrop sort of thing. Let's go over here. Oh, there's a hive right here. I still haven't put any bees in this thing actually, so I need to remember. In fact, it's already nighttime. Let's hope that this is... do I have... don't have a campfire on me. Let's just go for it. Oh. Can I tell that it's got bees in there? Well, I've got it now. I should probably sleep. Yeah, so I've got these like little custom trees around. These are like, I guess, like baby spruce trees. And then I changed it up a bit with diorite walls. Kind of you can make like a skinny birch tree. And then, I can't remember what the other one is on the other corner. I guess let's just go inside. I've got this fence going all the way around, and I've reused this idea with the acacia doors, same as with the waste disposal area over here, like the little recycling center. I wish we could have metal doors that match this, so that there wasn't just this like clash of colors with the orange and out of nowhere kind of thing. Okay, but yeah, so it's like a botanical gardens thing, right? So it's kind of an extravagance for the town to have this sort of thing. So yeah, this is why it's like a prized building. So that's why we've got the copper in here in the the little dome and on the little roof bits. I guess I did another spruce tree. But yeah, okay, let's go inside. Yeah, it's not particularly big for a sort of like a botanical gardens, like giant greenhouse building. It's like a decent size. I managed to get a satisfactory level of detail in, but I guess on the inside it's not really that big. So yeah, I've got 2 layers of door here because the bees will they'll be able to free roam inside. So I guess I've got another custom like little azalea tree. Yeah, window, I guess. Then I've just tried to dot flowers and stuff around. I've got my second favorite flower dotted around a bit, and then I've got the copper colors in. And then I don't really like having this big metal door here. This is the access to the redstone if I need to fix anything or like restock bottles or shears or something. Yeah, this is just the access to the back of this. Wait a minute. Do I have access? I don't know, but whatever. That's what this area is. It's very fiddly to get out of here because it's squeezed in. Yeah, that's like the B side. I guess here we go. Yeah, I guess it's just access for this one. So yeah, this is the B side. The B side. It's like a mixtape or something. And then this side is where we'll have the sniffers. This corner is just for decoration, basically. Or I guess it's more like food for the bees. But yeah, this side. Oh, I guess I'll do this. Right, let's hatch some sniffers. Yeah, not particularly big, and I'm gonna inevitably get some seeds picked up over here, but hopefully they'll get some. Oh, I'm gonna move these off here just in case it prevents them somehow accessing the ground to dig seeds up. Let's do that. Oh, I had 2. Yeah, so yeah, the reason it's only this patch where there's hoppers underneath is because these are technically, like if I stand on the grass block and I move over to the mud, you'll see me dip slightly. I'll drop down. See that? So the mud block is ever so slightly shorter than a full block, which means items resting on the top can be sucked through by a hopper. So, yeah, hopefully they dig up seeds on this bit, and that's what the redstone, I guess, not redstone, the hopper gubbins underneath is for. Yeah, and then I guess I've got stuff dropping petals everywhere. This is a custom cherry tree. I tried to do like the droopy leaf stuff, which I think came out okay. It's like, I feel like you need to do bigger trees to get that stuff to look good, but I think it works alright in here, especially as I've had to like confine it in such a small space. But I guess it taking up so much space in here kind of makes it work, I guess. Yeah, and then got this like needed more light in here. So I mean, there's light everywhere because of the glow berries and stuff, but yeah, lights in the corners basically. And got the little like details with the trapdoors and stuff. So yeah, that's this build done. I'm still gutted that the replay mod file was corrupted or something. Like, this was a build that I was really looking forward to sharing on these videos because I'm quite happy with this one. Like the level of detail I managed to get out of it in my preferred build scale I think it like came out really well, and I'm so annoyed. But yeah, I also really like just the vibe of this. Like you've got all these like kind of blocky industrial buildings and like almost like brutalist sort of stuff, and it's kind of ugly. Like these are, I hate these buildings. Like these are just essentially here to serve a function. I'd like to say that they're ugly on purpose to kind of be the ugly part of town where it's all the industrial stuff, but I actually really tried with these, which is maybe kind of sad, but I don't know, they still work for me. But then you like the like light at the end of the tunnel, you have this like pretty building down here with like life and like stuff inside there. I like how this has worked out. And I really like this walking down here, like with the sidewalks like framed with these lampposts now. And this, yeah, this should line up with the door down the middle of the street. Oh man. Yeah, and then we've got the wall done as well. I guess let's hop over here. I need to dress this area up a bit more. Maybe stick some bushes or something on here. But yeah, the wall's done as well. So this kind of, I mean, I still have space I can fill here and like add a bit more life to this like corner of the town. But yeah, this area, like it's potentially done now in this corner. So we're actually making like good progress on the town. And then next week, like episode a day, getting this like this whole side finished. My sniffers are hatched. Haven't actually seen them in game. And I left the trap door down? No. How did you get out? How? Can they go over fences? That's really annoying. And where's the second one? Hello? There you are. Okay. I'm confused. Can they go over fences? Okay. So, how do I... What are you doing? Right, I need to... Hold on a minute. I'm missing one. I'm missing a sniffer. Where's it gone? What? How is one missing already? Unless they're like both on here somehow. Okay, this guy's just freaking out. Okay, well, I'm gonna look and see if I've got any seeds that they've farmed up already, because that's the only way to like guide them around, I think. Oh, that's where my other pink petals went. No, what the hell, man? Where's the other one gone? Well, it's good that I got more than one egg when I went out and found these things. Damn it. Okay, well, I guess I need... Let's place these first. Let's do... 1, 2. And then... Oh, that's so ugly, though. I don't like big blocks of fences like this. Come on. Please. Sniffer, please. They're so big. Come on. Oh, man. Do I tie him up? Is that what I'm going to have to do? I still don't know how they got out. Or where the other one went. That's really bugged me. Okay. Well, he's secure now, hopefully. No, he's not even moving. That's really sad. I need to break this. Oh, oh no, he's digging. Oh my god. Oh, what is that? Is that the pod? I need those for a future build coming next week. Okay. Right. And then I got bees. I will deal with the bees off camera. I don't want to embarrass myself getting stung by a bunch of bees. So there's something else I wanted to talk about this episode. It's about texturing and how I go about it. So I guess there's kind of like 3 different ways I think about it. One is like just like physical detail and like depth and like interest. So by that I mean like this is all like, it's more than just flat surfaces, right? It's like the use of the stairs and the trapdoors and slabs and the walls and the like suggesting curves in a pillar by using different sizes of blocks and all that sort of stuff. There's that sort of texturing. And some stuff, if you saw my iron farm build, that video where I showed you like the sketches and the little like mood board that I made and trying to come up with this design. Sometimes it calls for like a big flat box, right? The other 2 ways are basically texturing a surface with different blocks. One way is kind of how like I've got the road. It's all like randomly placed, right? It's like random splotches of the different block types, which up close looks hectic and like messy. But if we let's go on top of our new building. If we look at it from a distance, right, it just kind of becomes it's not flat grey, right? So it's not so monotonous. Like if I was to just zoom in on this bit of terracotta, like it's all just one color and it kind of gets boring to look at after a while. So that's when you add in like, I actually don't like this, the way I've done it on this one, but over here, oops, on this building, I think it works a bit better because I don't have I think I might swap out these mud bricks, but I think that's the problem. So yeah, so it's like a cartoon or like a comic strip or something where you just have like this splotch of color and then there's just a few bricks sketched in a couple of places, and like, it tells your mind this is a brick wall. I'll draw a sketch and put that on screen right now to kind of show you what I mean. That's like one way of texturing something with different blocks, right? So that way of texturing is like breaking up the monotony of a single brick type, right? By introducing something else of the same color or like a similar complementary color where it breaks up the monotony of like just the same block over and over again. Same with the like I've tried to do it with the physical detail right on here. Like I've used the stair blocks and like walls and stuff, trying to do the same thing. The mud brick blocks have like particularly, I struggle with those because they're kind of like not quite a color that a lot of other stuff goes with. So here I feel like it kind of works. It's like cheated kind of, where I've got like bricks with mud bricks. So because they're both bricks, it feels okay to put them together like this. I don't know if it works necessarily, but so yeah, the only other options are like mushroom blocks and the packed mud block. And then there's no variations of these. Whereas like with, let's do this building. So like with this building, right, you've got so many different variations of different andesite blocks, right? So you've got walls, you've got the polished ones, you've got the stair blocks, you've got slabs, and whatnot. Same with like the different stone blocks. They generally have all these different variations, right? So, I'm just going to sleep real quick. So yeah, that's the like issue that I've had with mud bricks. Like, I really like this color. This, like, it works for this sort of like thing that I'm doing with the town. Like, having a different color of brick is so useful, especially as I've like limited myself where I don't want the buildings to run straight into more deep slate. Like, I would love to use more deep slate in these buildings, but I've screwed myself by having it be the pavement block. But yeah, so this is like similar tones with each other to break up the monotony. Whereas sometimes you can gradient it, right? So the what's this, rooted dirt? The rooted dirt has these little like pink tones in it here and there, which it's similar to the colors spectrum, I guess, of the granite block. So yeah, like similar to how I just was talking about this, like you have the plain color with the splotches of like brick texture to suggest that it's made of brick. Same here, you've got like it's kind of like the other direction where I've got mostly brick, but then you've got these splotches where it's kind of like suggests weathering of the wall, maybe. It's like here it's weathered, but here it's even more weathered where it gets darker and that sort of thing. Okay, so that's the second one, right? So we've got physical detail to texture stuff. We've got breaking up the monotony of a surface with complementary or like gradiented colors. The third one, I think it's best shown in the wall down here. So this one, I don't know if people have a name for this, but the way I think of it is like this is like random texturing. This is deliberate texturing. So what you can see like all along the wall, particularly where it meets the water, I try and put my mossy bricks adjacent to where the wall meets, like the man-made stuff meets the nature stuff, right? So it's like, oh, the grass has made contact with the wall and it's been here a long time, so maybe the wall has become like covered in like the vegetation in the area has like grown onto the wall. And then particularly, as I said, with the water, where there's water, there's tons of this stuff. But then also, like, thinking about it, it's like, oh, this is like, there's moss eating away at the brick. Maybe it's weathering the wall and it's more, it's like weakened slightly. So almost always where I've got the mossy bricks, I've also got the cracked bricks to make it look like structural weakness, like adjacent to, maybe this is weakening the wall and it's causing more damage elsewhere. The stone blocks are kind of more the sort of random one in a way. They're to kind of suggest like different block sizes of the bricks, basically. It's kind of the inverse of the splotch of color with the bricks suggesting the rest of it is brick. This time it's like, we've got the bricks, but now we're suggesting different brick sizes amongst the other bricks in a way. Yeah, that's the deliberate one. Let's try and look at some examples of where I've done it. So obviously wherever I've got a brick building, I've tried to do this sort of gradient of weathering. I think it's more successful on here. I think brick buildings work a bit better when it's mostly granite with brick interspersed. So this one is a better example, I think, than the warehouse, where I'm still kind of getting to grips with building these sorts of buildings. Like, let's ignore these because these are ugly as hell. But yeah, and then I'm like, this is deliberate. You'll notice I haven't used the polished granite block in the general texturing. These are used here to kind of suggest these are like structural points in the building. Like they're on the corners, so they're meant to be kind of like pillar-esque, I guess. And then the thing I really like about the polished types of some blocks, particularly the quartz one, not the quartz one, this actually isn't the polished one, but the thing that I'm describing is best seen in quartz, I think. So, up here we'll see, let's get a better look at this. Here we have, like, it's a flat surface, right? This is all just, this, like, rectangle, it's flat. I've got a bit of depth in with the stair blocks. So if we just focus on the bottom blocks here, we'll notice that it's completely flat, but the texture of the block makes it so that this kind of looks 3D, right? You've got like the way that it's shaded on the actual like skin of the block, right? So it kind of fakes that there's depth here, in that like this has like this outline around it, and then it's adjacent to a different textured block in the pillars. So that plus the extra depth, it fakes an extra like level of depth, if that makes sense. Same with like these little alcoves for the windows. Using the stair blocks like insets the window in a way. I might have gone over this in the Iron Farm video already, but just in case I cut it, because I think I might have. I'll talk about this one. So this one was a struggle, right? It's just a big grey block, and there's not really any other colour that really is close to this shade of grey. The closest I could find really was this grey concrete powder, and like you can see that there's some bits of it where it kind of like blends in quite nicely, but for the most part it's a bit dark. So I'm not a huge fan of doing the random stuff just for the sake of it. Like this was kind of necessary to break up the just monotony of the terracotta. And so over here, I didn't want to do too much just random splotches. That's why I've put all these like extra pipes and gizmos and stuff on here. And that's why I added this like almost modern architecture style like wood segment in the middle. So I tried to be deliberate with this one as much as I could. So I did end up doing both really. But the deliberate stuff was like, oh, there's this little alcove now. So maybe water collected in this corner or something and it's eroded the wall a little bit. Like where the pipes meet the wall as well. It's like there's probably a bit more weathering here where it's like the heat in the pipe has like corroded the wall a bit. But then some parts of it is just like there's just tons of flat space there where I just had to put something to break it up a bit, make it look less boring. So I'll do one more example, or rather a lack of example, because this one, it's basically all the first one, right? It's all the shapes that kind of add to the depth and add to the level of detail in that sort of texturing. But the thing that I've done kind of everywhere else and haven't done here is the different textures of the same color thing, right? Some places I've done it where I've mixed in these like the normal copper blocks with the cut copper blocks, again to like add a different kind of size brick as I did with the walls. And then I guess I also put in some birch planks in amongst where the birch logs are for the most part. And that was actually as a way to not make it entirely symmetrical. In a way that like just the uniform splotch of color can be a bit boring. I wanted it to not be wholly symmetrical. I think that's a failing of this building above the ground floor, is like it's kind of just uniform after that. Okay, I just had a recording malfunction, so carried on for like 20 minutes and then I've lost that recording. So yeah, it's not been a good episode for me behind the scenes, but I'm carrying on, forging ahead. So, right, where was I? Symmetry. Yeah, I was breaking up the symmetry here. Yeah, what I was getting at was sand, like the sandstone stuff that I normally do is absent in this building, right? So normally I have like this plain beige color, and to break it up a bit, I put in the subtle sand block to kind of just suggest a bit of weathering in the wall or something. Maybe a bit of like dust or dirt. I don't know. Some sort of blemish, right? Why have I not done it on this one? So again, it goes back to the deliberate thing. It's like, this is like a big greenhouse, botanical gardens type structure. And like, where is it in the town? It's on the outskirts, basically, of the industrial area. So as it is in a town this size, this sort of thing is an extravagance, right? So especially when it's so close to the dirty, grimy area, it's going to be well kept. It's going to be tended to and maintained. So the reason I don't have this suggestion of weathering, aside from the fact that I've got this high level of like physical detail, is because it's pristine. It's meant to look like it's pristine, like it's not been scuffed up by gross fumes ejected out of a factory or something, right? So why am I talking about this? Why is this important to me in how I build? Well, it's to do with the scale that I build at. The size of a player versus the size of a block kind of dictates in my head how big stuff should be. I don't like stuff to be bigger than makes sense for the scale of a player. So, like, if I have to build an extra block or two tall to make the one story of a building have a sufficient amount of detail in it, then why are the doors 2 blocks tall still? I've lost another door. What? Why do they keep taking my doors? Okay, so there's literally no one in here for the zombies to go after. It's something I struggle with a lot, is building at the scale that makes sense to me. Like, I could get more detail in another missing door. I'm so confused. Another missing door. This one didn't have a door, but this one does. This still has a door. But yeah, it's something I struggle with, is building at the scale that makes sense to me. Doesn't seem to make sense with the scale of the game, if that makes sense. It's like, in order to achieve a decent level of detail in a build, I have to build at a scale that, yeah, doesn't fit the player, if that makes sense. So what I end up struggling with is trying to build a level of detail into walls that are often 1 block thick. So, like, a way to get around it is to build 2 blocks thick, but you either have to sacrifice space inside a building, or you have to build the outside of the building even bigger than I would expect it to be. So the trade-off is usually a wall that's 1 layer thick, and then you have to do these tricks and things in order to get the detail that's missing from having something 1 layer thick. Right, so I guess I've waffled on a bit too much now, but hopefully that's like an insight if anyone's interested into how and why I build this way. And maybe I have to sacrifice some detail sometimes, or just leave it to be suggested sometimes, or something like that. But yeah, at the end of the day, it works for me. Right, so a quick recap. We got this wall finished. We've like finished this like whole section of the town now. And we've got this new building made. We've got some terraforming done. And it's one of the prettier builds I think I've ever made. I'm really happy with it. Hopefully anyone watching likes it too. Please let me know. Next week, I'm doing another video every day for the week, Monday through Friday. And we're going to fill in this side of the road. And then we've got like all the road to extend down here and maybe meet up with our little like central meeting area sort of thing here. And then we've got this bit under here as well. Kind of pretty this up a little bit. Hopefully you'll join me next week as I do that. And hopefully you enjoyed this episode. If you did, please hit like. And if you want to join me on this like world building journey that I'm on, please hit subscribe. I'm getting really close now to talking about the lore finally. My world lore. Yeah, that's it for this week, guys. I'll see you on Monday for the first video of the week. And yeah, thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye bye.